On the news at 1, President Bola Tinubu meets with heads of security agencies. FCTA takes delivery of medical equipment to boost capacity of health sector. And Abuja Environmental Protection Board takes campaign on plastic recycling to the streets of Abuja. Hello, it's good to have you join us on NTA Channel 5 News at 1. I am Miriam Emekamadi. Report just reaching us says President Bola Tinubu has announced Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila as his Chief of Staff and George Akume as the Chief Secretary to Government of the Federation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has met with Service Chiefs and the Inspector General of Police. Ms. Baudan Wahab reports that the meeting at the State House was the first on this critical sector between the new president and the heads of security agencies, led by Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo.
We rise for Mr. President.
Day 3 for President Bola Tinubu in office since inauguration. It is time for briefing and debriefing on another critical sector, security. And so, the service chiefs, as well as the Inspector General of Police, will brief the new Commander-in-Chief on his #1 item on the Renewed Hope Manifesto. Mr. President believed warm handshakes would be good enough to commence the very first meeting apparently aimed at consolidating efforts on this sector and perhaps infusion of some new ideas for a lasting solution. And after about 2 hours of an indoor meeting, some new hope emerged.
Well, the expectation of Nigerians is that security will be improved upon. And of course, the mandate, the direction which Mr. President has given is anchored on that. And that's what we will be working on to see that we strengthen the existing security situation and for Nigerians to have better environment where they can undertake their undertakings every day. So this is precisely what we've gone out from Mr. President. The mandate is given, which we're going to work on going forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
There is also a new impetus and philosophy in sight to drive the hope.
The President has revealed that in moving this country forward, he needs the security agencies to redouble their efforts, and he's also pointed out that his own philosophy is one of contemporary security measures dealing with the requirements of the time.
And very important to the Commander-in-Chief is that national security has to be coordinated with one purpose of securing the nation.
He has made it very, very clear that all the security agencies must comply with the demands of coordination, with the demands of frequent consultations, and also timely reports which must be acted on. He's going to embark on a lot of reforms in terms of our security architecture. He's going to take a closer look at our misfortunes in the maritime domain, focusing particularly on the issues of oil theft.
Mr. President had clearly stated in his manifesto that national security is the bedrock of a prosperous and democratic society, with emphasis on fighting terrorism, banditry, kidnapping and violent agitation. And Nigerians are certainly yearning for a greater improvement in this regard. From the State House, Musbah and Wahab, NT News.
The Balewa College Old Boys Association has organized a get-together to honor one whom they described as their finest classmate, Garuba Shehu, who just retired meritoriously from service as Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity. Sarafina Okon-Umekwe reports that the gathering of the old boys rekindled bonds of friendship.
Friends of Garuba Shehu catching up with old memories as the beauty of friendship is bonding together in good and bad times. They therefore deemed it fit to roll out the carpet to honor and celebrate an astute gentleman.
We all went to school, in Balewa College in 1971, and we have remained friends. More than friends, actually, like brothers.
Garuba Shehu was among the smallest of us in the class. He was very small and he was not talkative. He was very quiet. He was very quiet. We used to call him PT Master.
A very, very quiet, amiable person. All right. I remember we were among the very small ones when we were back at school. All right. But he's a very quiet person, very humble, unassuming, very religious. And he's what you may call a very, very good boy in school.
The media expert who has worked in various media outfits with his name written in gold said he is satisfied as he gave his best in the service to the nation and at the point of exit being honored with the prestigious title of the Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, is impeccable.
He surprised me by inviting me to serve, and I'm quite pleased that he has allowed us to do this for the 2 terms that he had been in office. It cannot be better.
On ensuring absolute tranquility of the digital media space, he says there should be better regulation of the new media to put them in line with standard global trends. In Abuja, Serafina Okon-Umekwe, NTA News.
And on the health sector, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has taken delivery of high-tech comprehensive medical equipment donated by the United States Agency for International Development, you said. The gesture is to assist in boosting capacity to meeting the critical needs of newborn in their city. Onoze Yakubu completes the report.
Donated to Asokoro District and Nyanya General Hospitals in Abuja, the life-saving equipment will assist the sick and newborns seeking medical attention at the hospitals. Taking the delivery of the state-of-the-art equipment at a brief handover ceremony, the Director General FCT Hospitals Management Board, Dr. Muhammad Kawu, says the equipment will go a long way in reducing neonatal morbidity and mortality rate in the FCT. The Chief Medical Director at Asokoro District Hospital, Dr. Afioma Uche, reveals that the equipment donated by the USAID will accelerate the reduction of newborn, prenatal and morbidity rates. The humanitarian assistance by the United States Agency for International Development, stakeholders believe, will give a game-changing effect in the FCT, as well as reducing medical tourism. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the impact of the Federal Capital Territory Health Secretariat on the productivity of Abuja's workforce and residents through the provision of qualitative services in this sectoral report.
Over time, the health sector has been evolving with introduction of new technologies and innovations to keep up with global best practices. In the nation's capital, it is no different, as the health sector received the needed boost.
There was never a file that went to our permanent secretary, our honorable ministers, both upstate and the substantive minister, coming out without an approval for what we have proposed to do. So this clearly defined the priority the FCT administration has placed on health.
The administration, in dealing with health emergencies like Lassa fever and COVID-19 pandemic, also ensured the health system was strengthened.
The administration did well. The number of people that died in the whole country in relation to the number of deaths across the world is unprecedented. We had fewer deaths and fewer mobilities in the FCT and the country in general.
A key mandate for the government to reposition the system for quality health care service delivery to the teeming population witnessed the revitalization of primary health care centers as an initiative. The nation's capital took the lead in this regard.
The lifespan of health system in Nigeria, particularly in FCT, it started before revitalization initiative was put into place. What is revitalization anyway? I think people need to know. Here we are talking about renovating, upgrading our PSCs, equipping them with modern medical equipment, of course, also ensuring that manpower are also in place. And we are doing that through our basic healthcare provision fund and through our budget. I know that the new government will also consolidate on this initiative of revitalizing our primary healthcare centers.
The major stakeholders highlight upgrade of FCTA hospitals with sophisticated equipment, engaging qualified personnel in the health sector, accreditation of FCT hospitals for residency training, FCT health insurance, amongst others, as worthy legacies and giant strides made during their stewardship in the federal capital's healthcare system. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
And from health environment, to discourage environmental pollution created by the indiscriminate plastic disposal, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board has taken campaign on plastic recycling to public places in Abuja. Mariam George Jitubo reports that the event is in commemoration of 2023 World Environment Day. The reports will come to you in a subsequent news bulletin. Officials of the FCT Education Resource Center have visited some schools in the FCT to monitor the West African Examination Council's mathematics examination. Mariam George Jitubo reports. Well, we'll take a break now. When we'll return, the news continues. Do stay with us. So which one am I?
The immediate cause of the latest queues in Abuja remains unknown.
Conceived with the intent to ease the flow of traffic in the nation's capital.
Whichever way it turns out, either to consolidate on the existing mandate or institute a new dispensation.
Located within the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC.
How much do people know about ADR? Are charting a path to having more youth participate in governance, in addition to building young entrepreneurs.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are calling on the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, look into the situation.
You have to strike a balance to have a future that you don't have to regret.
Like experts say, what kills really is fear.
In Abuja,
Onoziaku, NTA News.
Thanks for staying. The leadership of Theatre Arts and Motion Pictures Practitioners Association of Nigeria, Abuja chapter, have tasked members on upholding the interest of creative industry with optimum diligence. Charity Zaka reports that this was at the workshop in conjunction with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council.
Activities for the inauguration were inaugural lecture and paper presentation capturing the theme Creative Industry and Export for Survival in Nigeria. This is for the sustainability of the creative industry in line with best global practice.
The creative industry is the next oil, so you need to cash in on it. You need to be part of it. You need to move with the times. So I think it's a very positive step.
The creative sector is the low-hanging fruit. Already creating more jobs following agricultural sector. So we need to ramp up training initiative. We need to ramp up opportunities in co-production.
The officials say they are open to new ideas to harness thoughts towards taking the industry to great heights.
I want us in Africa, especially in Nigeria, to put heads together, especially all the guilds and associations. This is the right time to come together, do more, so that we can be placed in the right, position where we really belong to.
We, the youth of Nigerians, are full with diversity of talents, and that's what we, the theater practitioners, we are trying to do. That we should bring out the beauty, the talent in us.
It's time to be profitable, and if you want to be profitable, you must set agenda framework. So this event is to help us harness our ideas, put them together, and then we take it to the next level.
A dance performance by a Yoruba dance troupe had guests entertained. Charity Zakka, NTA News.
Given the inestimable health benefits of milk to the body, advocacy for its consumption and inclusion of other dairy products in diet is advised by nutritionists. Thus, the creation of World Milk Day on June 1st annually to promote the legacy and importance of milk and other allied products, Odiri Oburu Arutera reports.
The first thing you give your baby is milk, and that shows that milk is good for the body.
Celebrated annually to raise awareness on its benefits and the importance of other dairy products. World Milk Day, according to Dr. Mary Abiola, reminds humanity of the nutritional value of milk, but however advised, safe consumption.
It is not only for babies. It's rich in calcium, has a lot of vitamins that even adults need. I mean, it's good for the bones, it's good for the teeth. So milk is something that it's helpful for every individual, irrespective of the age.
Celebration of World Milk Day also calls attention to the challenges in the global production and distribution of milk.
The milk is not sufficient. Even the importers are not even getting what they're supposed to get. But with the help of the government and with this celebration.
From the experience from our own farm, the major problem I can talk about is the issue of the feeding, to feed the cows. Because, it's not good to go for this open grazing. That's why we are trying to curtail them in the ranch and feed them.
Challenges are numerous, but they are not unsurmountable with efforts. Financing is key because livestock needs a lot of money and funds to go into it.
World Milk Day was established by the United Nations and was celebrated in June 1, 2001. In Abuja, Odiri Ogboru Arutere, NTA News.
Parents are privileged individuals endowed with the responsibility to raise their wards, born or adopted. This critical role of parents informed the United Nations decision to set aside a day to celebrate their sacrifices. Sefia Uche in this report tells us what it entails to be a parent.
The World Parents' Day emphasizes the consistent sacrifices in raising children from cradle to adulthood, with an urge for them to continue in providing their families with loving and nurturing environment. But in the real sense, what does it entail to be a parent?
It is a privilege. It is where you have to, it's some form of love, where you will give back expecting nothing. It's such a good thing to every adult. That is why if you check now, you see some parents or some adults that have some form of depressions. Some comes as a result of because they don't have children around them or they don't have somebody they can give such love to.
What makes me a mother? The joy of parenthood is bringing up that children. So it gives a great joy to see the child being groomed in a very good way, and he or she becomes a good citizen.
For you to be a parent, you have to be responsible. You have to be somebody, be patient, and you have to be a mentor. It is duty of government to give you good health. It is a duty of the government to give you good life beginning. That is so. Therefore, It's very, very important for government to support parents.
The day is also aimed at creating awareness on the importance of families to a community and the nation at large.
As a dad, the most difficult task is being able to provide for your family, because that is why you are their dad. You are their semi-god in the world.
It is known that parenting comes with joy and celebration, but the role in bringing up a well-groomed individual can be tasking, even though it is not an individual's duty. Everyone needs to join hands to bring up the child that will in turn put lasting smiles on the faces of the larger community. Sophia Noma Uchi, NTA News.
And now to business news.
Naira continues to strengthen against the United States of American dollars. Thanks for joining me on Business News this week. My name is Aisha Uba Ali. Naira continued to strengthen against the United States of American dollar at the parallel market as it closed 750 per dollar on Wednesday from 763 in the previous session. The Naira had appreciated by 7 Naira against the US dollar on Tuesday after opening at 770 Naira. However, the performance of the Naira was largely bearish at the official market and investors and exporter window, and it is weakened by 0.03% and 0.04% to close at 461.06 US dollars and 464.67 US dollars, based on data from the FMDC and Central Bank of Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu, in his inaugural speech on Monday, directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to work towards a unified exchange rate. On policy making, the House of Representatives on Wednesday considered and adopted the report on a bill seeking to grant powers of enforcement to the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. The legislation is titled A Bill for an Act to Repeal the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act Cap R7 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Bill to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account and to bring the Act in conformity with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended and for related matters. This week, Nigerians woke up with an increase in fuel pump price, and one of our business correspondents was in town to find out the situation of these and how commuters are faring.
The long snake-like queues and the usual panic buying and chaos at fueling stations are now disappearing. This follows the pump price review. The situation on ground is that petrol products are now more available and the long line of cars have left the streets of Abuja.
You can see that the queue has dissipated. We came here and we bought the fuel at 537 naira. You get, so what it means is that there's no longer free meal. Everybody has woken to reality now.
The thing is, we should be able to know why these subsidies are removed. If you know, you won't blame President Tinubu. It has been there and it is putting hold on the country's coffer.
Passenger no enter motor because they no get money to enter. And how much would they buy the fuel, how much would they carry the passenger?
Others are optimistic that this latest move to remove subsidy will address critical problems.
That's the much we can take on business news. The news continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Over now to Sports Desk for Sports Brief.
All is now set for the last 8 clash in the ongoing FIFA World Cup in Argentina. This Saturday, Israel will slug it out with Brazil and Colombia versus, while Super Sunday will see Nigeria's Larambosa's young lad go against Ecuador and USA face Uruguay. Who makes it to the semis and whose luggages will be accompanied to the park remains unknown. keep your eyes glued to the TV. Meanwhile, head coach of Argentina under-20 team Javier Mascherano tendered a resignation following his team defeat and fallout of the ongoing under-20 FIFA World Cup despite hosting it. With the president's decision yet to be decided, he is however optimistic that he will continue with the team. He however laments that they were careless and it cost them everything. Javier's men fell out to Nigeria's Ladombosa's talent 2-0 in the last 16 stage. Still talking football, 7-time Ballon d'Or winner Lionel Messi will not be part of PSG team next season as he has been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia's side, with rumors linking him back to Barcelona, his former club. Head coach of the team, Galtier, clarifies that Saturday outing against Clermont will mark the end of him coaching a player he considers the best in the world. With hopes high, he receives the best farewell. The tennis, Emma Raducanu, now ranked 107th in the world, is searching for a sixth coach in 2 years after parting ways with Sebastian Serge. The 20-year-old, who is currently recovering from a triple wrist surgery and ankle, will miss the French Open